Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Salam alaikum. Hello everyone. Welcome to your number one YouTube Sudanese sports show, Dafurina in its English version. I am your anchor Salah Al Bashir, taking you through this session. Stay tuned. Before I proceed, it is an honor for me to credit a Sudanese national football player, Rashid Al Mahdiya. The picture is attached above you, and you can see it, who played for the most giant Sudanese club, Al Hilal, and who have greatest personality and has consumed himself to light the sports society. He is the person who generates the idea of this episode. Thank you, Rashid Al Mahdiya. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to our number one Sudanese YouTube show, Dafurina. Looking back on the last week's highlights of sports in Africa, the Confederation of the African Football, CAF, decided sanctions against the giant Sudanese club Al Hilal on March 4th, 2023, in favor to the protest filed by Al Ahli from Egypt after their match in Al Hilal Stadium in Omdurman, Sudan on February 18, 2023. The match ended 1-0 in favor of Al Hilal. I will show you here how bad were those sanctions cooked, and also I'm not here as a muckraker but a truth seeker. In front of you there are two letters. The first one, which labeled number 1 in blue, is from CAF, the Confederation of African Football, to Al Hilal Club through the Sudan Football Association. The second, which is labeled number 2, is from the European Football Association, and it's from UEFA, letter to Olympique de Marseille. It was direct, and with CC to France Football Association or French Football Association. Both of them have been sent from a disciplinary committee. In CAF, it has been named CAF Disciplinary Board, while in UEFA, it has been named Control, Ethics and Disciplinary Body. Both letters contain decisions about a case filed against the two clubs, Al Hilal from Sudan and Olympique de Marseille from France, and they are dated differently because the one in Sudan for Sudanese team have been dated on March 4th, 2023, while the one of Olympique de Marseille have been sent on December 7th, 2022. Those facts I tell you about are very important because obviously we can come to a conclusion that the letter of UEFA to Olympique de Marseille preceded the letter of CAF to Al Hilal Club. And this is very important in order to justify our case against CAF. Let us go forward and see. The following showed two paragraphs being copied from both letters. The top paragraph is a paragraph sent by CAF, letter to Al Hilal in page 1, under the subtitle Facts. The second one is, or the bottom one, is the UEFA's letter to Olympique de Marseille, and this paragraph found in page 2 under the subtitle Facts of the Case. So the only difference between the subtitles is just they thrown in CAF, they thrown of the case outside. Before we proceed, I would like to read each of them, and I would like you to recognize how much they are similar. Not similar, but actually the same. In CAF's letter, this statement or this paragraph says, the elements set out below are a summary of the main relevant facts as established by the disciplinary body on the basis of the official reports provided by the CAF match officials, the exhibits files, and the written statements produced by Olympique de Marseille, the club, in the course of the CEDP proceedings, while the CEDP has considered all the facts, allegations, legal arguments, and pieces of evidence submitted by the club in these proceedings, it refers in this decision only to those it considers necessary to explain its reasoning. This what comes in the CAF's letter. Let us compare it to what comes in the UEFA's letter. The elements set out below are a summary of the main relevant facts as established by the Control, Ethics and Disciplinary Body, CEDP, on the basis of the official reports provided by the UEFA match of delegates and the UEFA security officer, the exhibits filed, and the written statements produced by Olympique de Marseille, the club, in the course of the CEDP proceedings, while the CEDP has considered all facts, allegations, legal arguments, and pieces of evidence submitted by the club in the proceedings, it refers in this decision only to those it considers necessary to explain its reasoning. Now, you can observe without any argument that those two paragraphs are the same, and the differences between them is only in the name of the disciplinary body. The disciplinary body is the name of the CAF's one, and also here it is not correct because the name as appeared in the headed paper is the disciplinary board, while the name is correct in case of the UEFA's one, the Control, Ethics and Disciplinary Body. Moreover, here the disciplinary ethics and the control ethics and disciplinary body acronym is CEDP. But this is not the case in case of the disciplinary body. They blindly plagiarized the UEFA's paragraph and applied for Al Hilal without any consideration of some points. Point number one is wrong name of the CAF disciplinary board. They name it CAF disciplinary body, which is totally wrong. Second, they kept the name of the Olympique de Marseille, the club, in the African letter, and I don't know what has Olympique de Marseille doing in Africa. Third, they borrowed the acronym of the Control, Ethics and Disciplinary Body, CEDP, and applied for themselves, and this is not correct. Why? Because they blindly stole the paragraph. They plagiarized it word by word without any consideration of self-confidence, right judgment, or suitable rephrasing for the case. Let us go further to let you know more about this badly cooked judgments. CAF does not only plagiarize the paragraph word by word, but also plagiarized the accusation and also have the same type of punishment just to satisfy the visiting team, because it is one of the giant teams in Africa. Let us go and see how those accusations have been stolen from the UEFA's work and applied to a case in Africa with different circumstances, different views, and different of everything. Let us see the accusations. The accusations are using of flares, fireworks, and laser pointer. And those have, in case of Olympique de Marseille, they have been all proved by the UEFA's officials in the match and have been discussed by those officials with the officials of Olympique de Marseille before sending their reports to the CEDP. Same thing for the second accusation is failure to apply minimum medical requirements. And this have been proven by the UEFA's officials before and after the match, and the club failed to implement it as required. Also, there were a discussion before and after the match between the UEFA officials and the doctors of Olympique de Marseille about all these deficits and why they failed to implement it. And then after that, the officials send their report to the CEDP. Then there are post-match problems, which is blocking of a staircase of the stadium. And the justifications of Olympique de Marseille is that this is a habitual process happened in all France stadiums, and the France Football Association or French Football Association has nothing to do with this. They leave spectators on the staircases, and this become just a vice habit or bad habit for the spectators, and but in any way it did not affect the passage of spectators or officials through those staircases. This is what happened in the Olympique de Marseille, and anyone can go and see the letter. It is in the law document of the UEFA website. In case of Al Hilal, they parrot this accusation, which is using a flare, and they stated that a flare was thrown from the outside the stadium during the visiting team main training session. So first, it is not during the match. Second, nobody talk about this to these Al Hilal officials. Nobody knows if this is correct or not. It may be a big lie. And if it is not, why it is not being erased to the officials, nor in the official meeting before the match. Nothing happened, and they just punished the Sudanese team without proper accusation things. The second thing is failure of the medical requirements. It is not the same as the UEFA because CAF has nothing to do with any minimal requirements. This is just a corrupted organization. But they said that physical interactions of Al Hilal doctor against the visiting team player, and they actually punish the doctor and also punish Al Hilal for this by paying $10,000. Though the doctor had been given a red card by the referee in the match, the official video of the match denied the accusation and showed that Al Hilal doctor had been attacked by the visiting team players. The referee did not stop the visiting team players, did not give them any sort of even warn, red card, yellow card, nothing. He left them to do what they have to do to satisfy themselves, let me put it this way. The third one is post-match problems. While blocking the staircase here is the Olympique de Marseille accusation, there is nothing here in Sudan because actually they were panning of spectators, but they accused the Sudanese team that actually not the Sudanese team, both of them, clashes between players. So let me go with this story. If there are some clashes, or there were some clashes between the player, why there were no red cards, yellow cards for the players who are responsible for these clashes, even after the match? Because this is the authority of the of the referee. The referee can give a red card or yellow card even after the match. So why he did not do that? So clashes between the players cannot be applied for the Sudanese team, but not for the visiting team players, because it's a clashes between the player, unless it means that the clashes between Al Hilal players, they win they won the match, and also there were some clashes between them. So this is another thing, and I think it is very stupid justification. Second accusation is that the spectators of Al Hilal team blocked the passage to the visiting dressing room, which is totally very, very stupid one, because simply there were no spectators. The only spectators, if they consider that, are the VIP guests from both sides. So how they blame Al Hilal for something that is common for the two, clashes between the players, and spectators blocked where there is no spectators. However, the CAF just parroted this accusation, stole all the Olympique de Marseille case and applied for Al Hilal just for corruption, just for trying to satisfy one of the biggest teams or clubs in Africa who failed to do anything in the tournament, of the World Cup for clubs. Let us go forward and try to finalize this session. Those are the two paragraphs which we copied from the two letters. And on the other side are the signatures of the two bodies. I just here wants to prove the inconsistency of the CAF. And always inconsistency means there is no good people who can run the CAF. So the signature which have been appeared in the CAF's club is Raymond Hack, and he named himself as, or defined himself as, the chairman of CAF disciplinary report. So the name is disciplinary report, and this is correct. It is CAF disciplinary report. This is the name of the body. Why there is no ethics? Because the ethics and integrity is a different committee. Ethics and integrity committee is a different body, is a different board that has nothing to do with the disciplinary board. However, if we compare it to the paragraph, it have been named here the disciplinary body, and this will tell you how this organization is inconsistent in everything. Inconsistent. It is inconsistent. It is just plagiarized what others can do. They don't have something in their mind, even though they try to do this. If we compare it to Thomas Partlet, the chairman, he with trust, because he's trusting himself and trusting his body, and there is no need to even write the CEPD, chairman of the CEPD, or the control ethics of disciplinary report. And this is a consistency. This is how you can run an organization like UEFA or CAF or Asian associations or something like this. You have to think about that. And here, as I told you, it is a CC2 French Football Federation. This is how we can deal with things, and this is how CAFs run everything in favor of some countries or some giant continental teams. Let us conclude what we have in this session. Now let us come to our question. Why was it 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 was badly cooked. Why was it was badly cooked? Because it was a punishment to Al Hilal, who filed the case number CAS 2020 A slash 6920 against CAF. In conclusion, most African associations and African clubs are considered small and are only there to vote in favor of the giants. They should stand out of the crowd and hold the flag of change and respect. Football is a marvelous game and should be played fairly. No corruption nor domination of any country and or any club. We must protect Africa from these monsters by including standardized, cognitive, and fair treatment to all members. Let us move Africa. Let us move forward. Thank you, all audience. Thank you. Thanks everyone here. And I hope next time Africa will be in a new era where justice is for all and fair play is the main title of African football. Thank you and have a good one.